Hey, hello everyone, and a very good evening for this webinar on program management. And today I'm going to talk about the applications of program management. So nice. Okay, I think there are still people joining. We get the maximum people coming at sharp 8 o'clock, and the next is between 8 to 8:05. So we will wait for that. Great. Okay, so for people who don't know me, this is a little bit about my profile. You can go through that till some people are joining the session. So most of you who are attending the session probably know the rules. Okay, you can put your questions in the question panel, okay, which you have. And if I need to unmute you, which will not be possible in today's session because we have a good amount of registrants for today's session, but you can certainly put your questions at any point of time and I will try to answer. So happy to get interrupted and you can ask your questions. I would love to be having an interactive session on program management. So I'm seeing a lot of people joining at this time. Okay, it's exact 8. So we are getting a lot of people joining at 8. So we are going to take another 2 minutes and we are going to start the session. In just 2 minutes, Grace. Brilliant. Okay, so right. Yeah, so let's start for today's session. Again, a warm welcome to all of you, okay, who took out your time and came for this webinar. I hope this session you can take away certain things which can be valuable in your workplace. So my today's topic is I'm going to talk about program management and its application. So my focus would be on the application of program management. Many people probably do not see program management getting applied. Many people do it as an elite project management certification or they just get the degree, but they do not see the application of program management, which is where in terms of project management, friends, it is very clear that you can see what you can apply a lot of concepts in your workplace, but many people do not know what are the concepts of program management. Is it different from project management? How I can apply it in my workplace? Does it benefit the organization? So we are going to answer these questions in today's webinar. So the program management techniques or the applications in the organization, and does the organization benefit by having a program manager or a management in the organization? To substantiate this point, I'm going to have a real life case study for you and see the real life examples as possible in a 1 hour webinar. So I'm going to first build a context for you guys on what is program management. Okay, taking some time to build that context. Okay, what is the failure rate, why projects fail, and how do you call it as a failure? We are going to have a build a context around that. And then I am going to talk about the application of program management, and I'm going to substantiate this point through a case study. So that's what I'm going to do, right? And we will have a 15 minutes. So I'm going to talk for 45 minutes, although as I said earlier, you can interrupt me through the questions window that you have at any point of time during my 1 hour of time which I have. But specifically, I am going to have a 15 minutes, okay, question and answer at the end. Okay, it's a little too late, but I just want to ask once more whether you can hear me clearly and you can see me clearly and you can see the presentation clearly. Just answer in the questions panel which you have. Thank you, Amit. Super. Yeah, thank you, Hari, thank you, Vijay, Samuel, Shailesh. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Brilliant. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. Okay, we have a lovely attendance today, and as a speaker, it really helps when you get many people talking, and so let's have a very good interactive session. I'm pretty excited about this, and let's go into the things. Super. I'm not going to take time about us, but I represent ProThoughts, and we majorly into learning services, and we do webinars, okay, as a rich content on 10 webinars a month, specifically on project management. So we are growing across the boundaries, and we are giving varied courses. Agility is one of the new offerings that we have, and we operate across India. We have offices now in Dubai and Mauritius as well. Right. We have this content platform which we have. It's called talkprojectmanagement.com, where you have a lot of webinars, calendar. You can subscribe to the webinars. We also have a bookstore where we sell books as well. Great. Yes. So now let's go into our history of program management, right? And the history actually dates back, even the term program management, guys, was used, okay, as per the internet records in 1972. And that's where project management was evolving just from a schedule management towards a matrix organization, research and development. And the word program management was used. At that time, IT was also getting born in that terms, okay, the first early adopters. And program was interchangeably, as they call, used with project management. So program and projects were interchangeably used. Perhaps for a larger project, they're used to call a program. But as the project management evolved, okay, we have a blog on our website, how the project management as a function evolved. So it went right from the Gantt chart, schedule management, critical path, to the matrix organization, to the competencies. But finally, the organization started value, okay, how the project management can bring value to the organization. So it started with that kind of motto. So in the 1990s, okay, benefits, values, if I'm doing a project, how it should come. And that's where people started differentiating project management with program management. So there were a lot of great people who differentiated that and came up with a lot of theories. I have written a nice kind of a blog on how program management evolved right from before 2000. And then program management was formed after 2000 as a separate discipline. So there are a lot of bodies which actually had deliberated on the definition of program management. They actually formed the definition of program management in late of 2000, so around 2007-8, that program management, when I get 2 or more projects together, if I get a higher benefit than managing the project individually, I will call it as a program. So we will go into a little 1 or 2 more slides on detail what is exactly program management. But program management, therefore, is distinctly different than project management. The skill set of the program manager is definitely much different than the project manager. So these are 2 different skill sets, right? So that's what program manager is. Now the question is, how the organizations adopt program management. So the PMI, which has having the PGMP, there are other institutions who have other program management certification. The PMI is more popular. Okay, they founded it was like more than 50 years, but PGMP is less than 10 years or 10 years. I got certified as a program manager around 2010. And okay, today the PMP holders are more than 1 million, where PGMP is 4,000 itself. So although the demand has increased over last 2 years, but the growth or the rate of growth is not so high as compared to PMP. So PMP remains the popular one. Now, most of you are from India. The highest demand for program manager as per the talent report from PMI is in India and China. So that's something which you can take away for your organizations. Great. Now, I will tell you, okay, why projects fail, okay? And there are a lot of, okay, reasons for that. First of all, you need to define whether it's a failure or a success. So somebody says it's a failure, other person says it's a success, is also a common phenomenon. So projects fail due to variety of reasons, okay, like unclear objective. I don't know what to do. There is a change, like COVID has brought about a change in which things would be done. Therefore, the projects would have, okay, terminated, okay, new projects would have initiated. So changing sponsor strategy. Definition is not correct of project, external environments, funds are not available, okay. There are various reasons for project management failures. People are not able to attribute sometimes why the project failed. Having said that, okay, I will give you some example of project failure, okay. So this was a classic example, which is there quite many people would know. It's a Ford Taurus car. Okay, it was the design of the modern car. Okay, and no, it's one of the turnaround stories for Ford company. But the project was late, and the project manager was demoted for poor performance. But it's a turnaround story for Ford. Whereas there is another satellite phone, okay, which went, okay, as per the plan, but no, it is a history. Nobody is using that. So how you define a failure and a success is itself needs to be evolved. Okay. So project managers are very myopic in nature. They only see their objectives being clear, whether they are used, adopted, what happens to that. I think the organization is more concerned with that, isn't it? What happens to your project output or capability is what your organization is more concerned, isn't it? That's what it is. So how they actually ensure that? So let's see. Okay, I'm going to give you now a definition of how projects, program, portfolios are different. Today, guys, we are living in a uncertain, or no, the term used is a VUCA world. You know what is the VUCA word? Volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous. And post-COVID, I think the uncertainty or the dynamic nature or the volatility of business would be more common than usual. It is being more volatile. If I put this matrix of uncertainty, ambiguity, which was done by Michel Thierry, okay, who I regard as one of the pioneers in program management, he said, if the uncertainty means the things I'm not sure about, I'm not certain about. And ambiguity is, okay, I have four choices, but I'm not sure which choice is the right one. That is ambiguous. I don't know which way to take, what to do, ambiguous. I don't have data, I don't know what to do, okay, probably rely on gut, ambiguous situation. So uncertain is low, ambiguous is low. It's more of your operations administrative based methods. But if the uncertainty is high, but you know where you're going, which direction you're going to take, that's a project, performance based methods. If you are not sure what to do, but uncertainty is low, okay, you are more certain, you're sure. And if you have more data in this kind of quadrant, it's a power-based methods. You have portfolio manager, top management of your organization, portfolio, who decides the strategy, the direction. If you have more data at the top level, they can take better decisions at the top level. It's a portfolio. However, when ambiguity is high and even uncertainty is high, your projects are not enough. You need to go into iterations to deliver value because the change is pretty high. You need to take a decision, implement it, check it, again redo it till you realize the benefit or the value. So this is where program management comes into play. So my idea was not to go into detail, but I wanted to tell you the context where the program comes into play. Some people say program is the bridge between portfolio and the projects, and rightly so. So let's go into one of the case studies that I have for the topic today. Okay, just a second. Okay, so I want to go into a case study, okay, and take now we got the context. We are going to approach a case study. And the case study is of a company called SimCore. SimCore, okay, is a joint venture, okay, of Canada's three largest financial institutions, right? And they are into financial processing service provider. Okay, a largely big company from a service point of view, and their clients are who's who in the North America region. Okay, so they have gone, okay, from a low customer rating, okay, to a better predictability, accountability, and a strong benefit capability measurement in the 3 years time frame, and they're sustaining it for the last 10 years. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this corporation called SimCore. Right. So SimCore, okay, I had one of my colleagues earlier, okay, who worked for SimCore. Also, SimCore features in PMI.org's case studies as well. So the challenges at SimCore when it started was, and this is very peculiar to a lot of your organizations that you work with, okay, a little subjective way of handling projects. There was no standardized way of handling projects. So it was up to that person who is handling the project, which project should be taken first, which for second, what is the way to handle the project, what are the templates to do the project. It was very subjective. The outcome of that was it resulted in a low customer satisfaction because the projects was managed in silos. One department could not talk with another. Every department had their own way of doing things. In other words, they have their own culture of doing things. So the leader says how to do it, people follow. So there was no common understanding or definition of what project was. And this is very true in a lot of my experiences with a lot of the organizations. The culture of handling a project is very subjective in nature. Now, he or she defines that and others follow. I have seen projects being handled with some templates in the 1990s and they are carried forward for the last 25 years. So that's how the business is run. Okay, and this challenge was not acceptable, okay, to the CEO of Syncon, right? Because there were a lot of complaints coming from customers which the C-suite was not, was a little annoyed hearing again and again. So one of the core challenges was the delivery was not as per the strategic objectives of the business. Now, what are the strategic objectives of the business? The strategic objectives of the business are increasing profitability. It can be anything like decreasing cost. For this, it was increasing the bottom line, right? So what they did, okay, one of the things, and this is as part of the program management. The missing thing, okay, was the link between the projects and the strategic objectives was missing. The strategic objective, as I said, is increase profitability. The projects are handled in a subjective way. The outputs of the project are not able to give or link to the strategic objectives of the organization. So this was the primary missing point. And for that, the CEO of SimCorp led an initiative. So they led an initiative of, okay, identifying benefits from the very beginning. Okay, so one of the things which she says, and the detailed story is there on the pmi.org, but one of the things was problematic was canceling projects which doesn't make sense for the strategic objectives of the company. It was a stigma in that organization to cancel a project. But they started communicating, saying that it's not a stigma, it is for the well-being of the organization to cancel the project. So this is one of the things that they overcome to manage the benefits and started linking every project, deciding which project can lead to benefits or the value, and therefore achieving the strategic objectives of the organization. So what they started doing was, okay, they first started identifying the benefits when the project used to come from the clients. So there was a team which they made to review the SOW and started drawing the benefits. Okay, and the benefits was categorized in a template. So they started identifying the benefits. For every benefit, they started identifying the critical success factors. For every critical success factor, they started identifying the key performance indicators. And then, okay, that key performance indicator and CSF, the combination of CSF should add to the bottom line of the organization. The sum of the CSFs should add to the bottom line of the organization. So they started making a strategic alignment at the very start when you are selecting the project. So they started investing time with that. So this is a the technique and the strategy to identify benefits, how to identify the CSFs, how to do the KPIs, okay, how to do the benefits register is all part of program management. This is all part of the program management. So the program management really helped to streamline this benefits identification. The other part, okay, was benefits realization. It's okay to identify benefits, but what about when you start executing? When you start executing the projects, okay, you need to understand whether they are going in the right direction or not. And for that, they constituted another thing called governance. So again, a program management thing, to have a right governance structure, and what are the techniques to put that governance structure, what should be the roles and the responsibility, how many governance bodies should be, is a part of program management. This leads to another part of program management called benefits realization, which is a very key thing of program management. So once the project delivers the outputs or the capabilities, how to realize the benefits which can be linked to the strategic objectives of the organization is a part of the program management. So SimCore used program management prominently in three areas. One is benefits management is one, where they identified, realized the benefits. Second is the governance. Third is the stakeholder. Okay, but they had, okay, a lot of saving, $72 million. That's a huge lot for the company. Since 2011, it's a 10-year data that they have, right? Or 9-year data, sorry. Okay, the project success rate, that is astonishing. Okay, from 55 to 96, and they could measure the success. That's what another big advantage of this. They canceled 100 projects. That not only saves money but avoids stress and conflicts. So that's a big motivator. Okay. So as the CEO said, I copied that, okay, for all of us, that the culture, they went from a culture of not knowing how many projects were on the glow or what was the low satisfaction, okay, to establishing a standard way of predicting outcomes for the company and the stakeholders. And that's an awesome thing. If there was no techniques or strategy used or program management, okay, you could have done it. Maybe you would have made your own strategy, but it takes a longer time. With proven strategies and techniques, you could achieve it in much lower time, and you save the company from a break. So that's the value of program management. It's huge because you're talking of giving a direction to the company, right? So another thing, continuing with this, okay, from the SimCore program management idea, okay, every organization, I think this is why we chose this topic about program management, was many people ask us, okay, what's the application of program management? This was a topic many people have. And the second question, okay, people have, do organization need program managers really? So let me tell you this thing. Organizations in a project management space have three domains. Portfolio, which decides what we need to achieve for the company. Projects are the initiatives which delivers the output. But the programs actually use this output to achieve the objectives. So if you are dealing with more than 2 projects, you need someone to link and make it a bridge, okay, in your organization. So program managers play a very vital role. They are very business savvy and macro in their thinking, unlike a project manager who is a little myopic, okay, who is a reliable guy, but may not be a flexible guy. The program manager is a flexible guy who embraces change. Okay, he has a macro view about how the organization works. So you should have all the three domains ideally in your organization. Okay, so when you are selecting a project, okay, component is a project. When you're selecting a project, okay, and you ignore the strategy alignment, if that is not considered while selecting a project, okay, so when you select a project, okay, so when you select a project, the strategy alignment while selecting the project is very important. So program management provides on prioritization on which components or which projects should be selected to deliver the outcomes. Okay, so if you do not focus on this, it only realizes short-term shareholder value, right? So projects, friends, do not create business value, right? So for that, you need something more to achieve, and that's what is program management. So the program management becomes the link between the strategy and initiatives. So program managers, guys, are the guys who are business savvy. When I say business savvy, they are the guys who understand the business functioning, as well as, okay, they understand the competitive landscape. So these are the guys who are very senior, may not be technical, maybe more strategic in nature. Like business unit heads can be program managers ideally. Okay, and the top management can be your portfolio manager. Okay, Satya has asked me a question. Do we need program manager and project manager in a startup company? Program manager can do both program and project, right? Yeah, absolutely. So so if the scale is not high, it depends. Program managers are also needed when the maturity of the organization should also be taken into consideration. Okay, program managers may not thrive in organization where you do not differentiate what is a portfolio, what is a project, and the structure is not so much evolved. Okay, large organization would appreciate more the techniques and strategies of program manager than say a startup. Yeah, to your answer, yes. No, mostly a lot of companies do have a mix-up role of projects and programs, etc. People do all the things together, and there's a mix of skills. But ideally, the skill set of a program manager, okay, who is more flexible, okay, who is more long-term focused, okay, than a project manager. But yeah, so I can't answer directly, but I hope you got an answer on that. So yeah, so what he's saying, yeah, so PGMP is so I'm not going into certifications, okay, Satya. So the point is that you need some techniques. The certifications talk about the best practices or the good practices. I will not use the word best, I will use the word good practices. So the certifications use good practices, and if you use that, that's good. So both, okay, if you learn good practices, that will be better. Sometimes because of your own culture and way of working, you have adopted what is the best for your organization. That might work over a PMP's good practice as well, or a thing. So that's how it is. Great. Okay. So that's how you have this, okay, things, the idea of telling you the applications or the need for program management. So the program management is, okay, a bridge between, like I said, projects and portfolios. Our organization needs all these three things. Like I talked about the case study, okay, of Syncor, okay, there has been a lot of problems they would facing as in any other organizations about low customer satisfaction, the subjective nature of handling projects. And they introduce some natures or some applications of program management, which are the good practices like benefits identification, benefits register, and started linking the outputs of the projects into benefits or values to achieve the strategic objective, which was okay, increasing the bottom line for the company. One other question which is coming, okay, Raghunath is asking, can a project manager act as a program manager if she is not holding, okay, the business unit just so the question is, can a project manager act as a program manager if he is not holding a business unit head or a senior leadership position? Oh, you can act as anything, right, Raghu? So you can act as anything. You need not. So the designations doesn't matter. I gave you the designation just to give you an analogy that may not be a perfect resemblance because every company has its own way of working. So it may not fall into things, but I'm just giving you a semblance of idea. The designation doesn't matter. If you're handling 2 or more projects, okay, you can handle that as a program which can help you to achieve the strategic objectives of a portfolio. Program management techniques, unlike project management techniques, are a little dry. The subject is a little dry. Project management topic is more meatier. The techniques are more relatable, okay, on the things. But yes, I hope I answer that. Yeah, accountabilities matter, Hari. That's good. Roles designation do not matter. I agree with you, Hari, on that. That's perfect. Excellent. Right. So these are some of the things that I wanted to tell you, that program management can help you achieve the objectives of the organization, which can be increasing revenue, increasing geographical spread, whatever, increasing profit, decreasing cost, whatever strategic objectives that you have. Okay. And to achieve that, project management or project managers may not be good enough. You need a different skill set, you need a different technique, you need a different strategy to achieve that. Okay, and that's where the program managers fit into. And if organizations start doing that, you will recognize the value, right? So this is a gap in a lot of current organizations as well. So I wanted to, okay, give you an essence of this in today's session. Also, many people ask me what are the benefits if you go for certification. Like some people had asked me what are the benefits if you go for certificate. There are many benefits, okay, and each has its own. To each one its own. So there are maybe 20 benefits. I had just categorized as I interact with a lot of people, right? So one of the things I would love that you become more confident as a program manager. Okay, you know a lot of things, techniques, strategy at disposal. You can choose what you need to adopt given your culture, your situation, and therefore make your programs better. Okay, so that's what you can actually make yourself confident. You will actually handle the program much better. I think this is the need of our, because many organizers do not know how to do a program. So that can be a big benefit. There are other benefits as well, like I did it for more respect probably in project circles, or better career prospects, higher salary, etc. But that's other things that come associated with that. Yeah, so this is again a question asked and therefore included in the session. Okay, the PGMP right move for you. Okay, it really depends. Okay, depends on a lot of things, what you are doing, what your future career goal, what you want to do. Okay, or no, so you need not be actually, okay, here it should not be a great project manager or even a PMP certified to become PGMP certified. It need not be. So it's actually opposite. Okay, but yeah, if you want to consider, we have, okay, a counseling session where we help you given your situation, and we can help you with the data on that. So guys, in a nutshell, in today's session, okay, I personally think that the nature of business and the organizations in which they operate is going to be more volatile, okay, and more complex, and you will actually require the applications of program management. Okay. So the program management helps you to measure the outcomes and achieve your strategic objectives. It creates the business value for your organization. Although in India, not many people in my understanding do program management, but there is a huge scope to actually transform things the way they are currently managed. If you do it, you can achieve that outcomes in a lesser iterative manner, in a lesser cost, and in lesser time. And that's a big value add. That's what we say. That's a lean concept. If you do it in a lesser, shorter time and reduce your cost of delay, that's a huge savings. Program management helps you to do that, right? So guys, this is what I wanted to tell you today in a very nutshell. Okay. I just take a couple of minutes, and we will open up for question and answer sessions. Yeah, I'll take a couple of minutes before I open the question and answer session. So we are very proud, ProThoughts is very proud to be the authorized premium training partner, and we are one of the first ones to do trainings on the ATP material by PMI. Okay, PMI authorizes us to do the training. Okay, so we are backed by PMI to do this, and they give us support in terms of applications, okay, reviewing, and other support material as well, so that your process for PGMP is well taken care of, right? Like I said, if you want to have a free counseling session, okay, I'm going to give you, you can book your slot on the web. I'm going to give you a chat for that. Okay, I'll send you a chat. So if you see your chat, okay, you can see this link. You can actually, there is a calendar where you can book automatically a slot for a one-on-one, and we can help you if you need more data on that. We have a PGMP certification coming 2 weeks hence. If anyone interested, you follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook, where we'll give you more information on program management, PGMP, webinars, all the project management stuff. This is about our disciplined agile. Okay, this is the webinar calendar. You can enroll for future webinars. This is 1 hour sessions for corporates that we do during your lunch breaks, and you can enjoy your lunch with on a Friday motivational or knowledge session on project management. My pleasure, Vijay. I hope the session was helpful to a lot of you. That's our endeavor, to give as much knowledge and give back to the community. I hope it was good for you guys, and your feedback is always valuable for us. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you for attending. Have a good day. Thank you so much.